Hello and welcome to Release 12i Oracle Internet Expenses Fundamentals Training. My name is Kabir Khan and I'm a highly experienced Oracle consultant with over a decade of experience in implementing Oracle ERP with large organizations. Oracle Internet Expenses streamlines and automates the submission, tracking, approval, and payment of employee expenses. These expenses could be something that have been incurred in cash or through a corporate credit card. Employees can submit their expenses online and track their progress. Managers can then approve or reject expenses online or ask for further details from the employee. Managers can also track the details of previously submitted expenses. Account payable staff can then receive the hard copies of expense reports and audit them to match employee expense reports. Once audited, they can simply process them online, which can then be tracked again online by the employees. You can also integrate employee expense reports with Oracle projects such that the project manager approves them. He can also track the expenditure at the project's level. This course has been divided into three parts. Part 1 mainly introduces employee expense reports, benefits, and the associated business processes. This includes end-to-end expense report processing, applying prepayments to expenses, tracking expenses for projects, and disputes resolution. During this time, I will cover the setups required in Oracle and underlying workflows for submission of Oracle expense reports. I will also cover the database level flow for integration between Oracle Internet Expenses and Oracle Payables. Part 2 of the course deals with the procurement cards, business process flows, and processing of expenses that were incurred through them. As I said before, procurement cards are nothing but corporate credit cards issued to the employees. There I will take you through the processes for procurement card integration with the suppliers providing them and how employees can submit and receive payments of their corporate credit card expenses. Lastly, in part 3 of the course, I will demonstrate the detailed setups required for implementing Internet Expenses and its integration with Oracle Payables, projects, subledger accounting, and general ledger. So as you could see, in terms of a little more details about the course objectives, I've simply listed down the sub-modules that I will be covering one by one, and simply that expands those three parts that I've just explained you. To start with, I will start with explaining you the benefits and processes of Oracle Internet Expenses. Then we will drill down a little further. Then we will set up and implement employee expense reports in Release 12i Oracle Internet Expenses. Then we will understand the end-to-end employee expense report processes, which includes right from the time wherein employee submits those expense reports, it goes on to approval of their managers, payables auditing, then once auditing is over, invoicing, then payment to the employee, and employee actually tracking those expense reports. We will also see project related expenses, how expenses can be linked to projects and how it can be tracked at a project level by the project managers, including the setups involved by the project managers. Then we will see how to set up and implement procurement cards or corporate credit cards. This is in fact part 2 of the course and will be dealing exhaustively on the corporate credit cards. Finally, we understand the end-to-end process flows for procurement cards or corporate credit cards, wherein employee gets the expenses incurred on corporate credit card directly displayed on the employee expense reports, and then he can submit it for approval. Once approved, it's audited and paid directly to the supplier, and then supplier can log into iSupplier portal and can look at those expenses or expenses being paid on iSupplier portal. So that's in all the course and the course objectives. And going along, to start with, I will now explain you the benefits and processes involved in Oracle Internet Expenses for released to LI.